And this is Marcus Washington from MTC Media here to talk about Georgetown as they come home from Jamaica, having split their two games, losing a 10-point second half lead and an 18-point loss to Loyola Marymount, and then giving back every point of a 25-point lead, yet still being able to outlast LaSalle 69-62 in the second game. But out of the split in Jamaica came more questions than answers. Patrick Ewing is going to quickly grow tired of being evaluated by how he uses his bench. He did comment on it after the game and essentially told everyone he's not worried about the bench. He's not thinking about the bench. He's thinking about getting a win. And this is probably how Georgetown has gotten here. Unfortunately, you can't do college basketball that way. And for people who want to blame it on an NBA mindset, you can't even do the NBA that way. Look at it this way. In the NBA, teams and rosters and organizations build things in windows. Those windows are salary cap, where people are in their contract, whether you pay the luxury tax or not, whether you have an owner that wants to pay the luxury tax or not, those type of things, what sort of assets you have. A lot of things go into building a window. So when people say it's an NBA mentality, it's not an NBA mentality. It's not an organization in the NBA that does things in that way. College traditionally, really you're managing your recruiting classes. And though that has changed and the definition of recruiting classes have changed with the transfer portal, with how long kids are staying and not staying in college, and probably the most important thing that never ever gets brought up is the COVID-19 exemptions that were given that has caused a gluttony of players in college basketball and not enough room. And so we got to give these kids an extra year, because we feel sorry for them. It has really screwed up recruiting. It screws up the kids who are trying to get recruited because you got players using 6 years now to stay in college and everything else. So Ewing has to manage things in a big picture way. This is year six. He can't be managing game by game. And because he hasn't managed those previous 5 seasons, this is where we've gotten to, where it's well, I have to win. Part of winning is ensuring that you can get some bench help once you get to conference season. It's hard to do that when you don't give guys consistent minutes. Then you brought these guys in, 5 stars, transfers, yada, 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 and then you have them sitting on the end of the bench, or they're playing 3 minutes here, 5 minutes there. That's not, first and foremost, that's not going to keep them down because they'll transfer like every other recruiting class is transferred out of Georgetown during Patrick Ewing's regime. Secondly, it's not a way to build a program. So whether you're an NBA coach in an NBA organization where you're building windows, in college, you're building programs, and all of that has to be carefully scripted out. And it cannot be scripted out game by game because that will ensure that you'll only be around college basketball for so long. It's Mark Swarshin from MTC Media.